Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's Cobb County Board of Commissioners meeting, this May 26, 2026. I'm pleased today that providing our invocation will be Pastor John Fittner of Liberty Church. He will be providing our invocation that will be followed by the pledge, which will be brought by firefighter Aiden Bible. For those of you both willing and able, please stand for our invocation and our pledge.
Before I pray, I want to give a word of thank you to this amazing commission. I moved here at 14 years old in 1972, and so I've been around Cobb County a long time, pastored the same church for 40 years, and I think this is the best-run county in America. You guys take such good care of everyone. You listen so well to everyone. So I just want to say thank you as a regular person for a great job you and all your predecessors do. So appreciate you so much.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Father, we come here today to release blessings over these hard workers, these servants, blessings on their families, blessings on their decisions, blessing on the peace in their life, blessing on their health, blessing on our county, Lord, as they seek to meet needs and to help people in so many areas. Let there be peace and joy and wisdom and kindness and truth to flow this night. In Jesus' mighty name, all God's people said, Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Fittner, for those thoughtful remarks and the invocation today. And also thank you, Firefighter Bible, for helping bring our pledge. Our meeting is now called to order, and I'm pleased that we have 4 presentations before us. The first one is a rather special one, and I am going to ask if Mr. Charlie Duncan can join Commissioner Burrell up front as we celebrate you today.
And also, can your family and the veterans that are here to honor you tonight, and representatives from our senators and Congress come up? And friends, veterans, family. Who are also veterans. Yeah, we need to separate you from. So tonight we have the honor of the oldest living World War II veteran in Georgia in our midst, Charlie Duncan. You probably remember him from his 105th, 106th, and now we're at 107 tomorrow. So I'm going to read a proclamation, and then we have some other letters to honor you from Congress. So I'm going to read this proclamation first from the Board of Commissioners. Whereas Charlie Duncan is being honored for his remarkable longevity, unwavering love of life, and his enduring contributions to the Cobb County community. At 107 years old, he has touched numerous lives, served his country with honor, and remains an inspiration to all who know him. And whereas born on May 27, 1919, Charlie Duncan spent most of his life in and near Cobb County and attended the 7th District Agricultural and Mechanical School, now known as McEachern High School. Charlie was married to his first wife, Geneva, for 39 years, with whom he had 2 children. After her passing, he married Mary, and they shared 44 years together until her passing. He's the proud patriarch of a large family that includes 10 grandchildren and 20 great-grandchildren. And whereas Duncan served during World War II in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, making prefabricated bridges and delivering them to the front lines. After 18 months in the service, he returned home to his family and a job at Randall Brothers Millworks in Atlanta as a master craftsman, retiring after 37 years. He owned a grocery store and built a home on 25 acres of land on Ebenezer Road. And whereas Charlie credits his long life to staying active and eating healthy, he enjoyed square dancing for 37 years, which kept him mentally and physically agile, and stayed fit by participating in water aerobics classes at the Mountain View Aquatic Center, often alongside fellow seniors decades younger. In July of 2023, he was honored as the Grand Marshal of the Marietta Let Freedom Ring Parade. Now, therefore, we, the Cobb County Board of Commissioners, recognize Charlie Duncan for his long life and service to this country. We honor him on his 107th birthday with our deepest congratulations and best wishes for many more happy years, and we declare May 27th, 2026 as Charlie Duncan Day in Cobb County. And I have a letter too from Senator Ossoff, who could not be here tonight. And I'm just going to read that, and then Senator Warnock has a letter. Is that Mary Golden? Where is she? She's so tiny. She's going to read greetings from Senator Warnock. So, to Mr. Charlie Duncan, please allow me to extend a heartfelt happy birthday. Reaching 107 years of age is no small feat. Throughout our nation's history, our dedicated service members have protected our citizens, our way of life, and the sanctity of our ideals. The courage and sacrifice of these selfless souls have inspired countless people and shaped our country. On behalf of the people of Georgia, I would like to extend a deep gratitude for your contributions to the safety of the American public. I am glad to hear you're celebrating this milestone with the Cobb County Board of Commissioners. May today be filled with joy, love, and cherished memories. While I wish I could be there with you to celebrate, know that you are in my thoughts and that you have my support. Best wishes for your continued health, success, and fulfillment. Please stay in touch. If I can ever be of assistance, do not hesitate to reach out. Sincerely, John Ossoff, U.S. Senator.
Thank you, Commissioner Burrell. Mr. Duncan, it's such an honor to be here with you tonight and with all of your wonderful family members. Though Senator Warnock couldn't be here, I wanted to come on his behalf and read this letter. Mr. Charlie Duncan, happy 107th birthday. In the past century, you have had a front row seat to history as you've watched it unfold in our collective quest of a more perfect union. As a United States Army veteran, you have encountered many trials, triumphs, and tribulations. And now it is time to rejoice as you turn 107. I join your family, friends, and community in celebrating you on this joyous day. Scripture reminds us in Psalm 16:11, you teach me the way of life. In your presence is total celebration. Beautiful things are always in your right hand. As you celebrate this great milestone, remember that beautiful things are all around you. You have taught your loved ones lessons that they will carry on for the rest of their lives. Looking forward to the future, know that your long life of service to your country has inspired not only me, but countless Georgians. May you continue to live in prosperity, happiness, and health, surrounded by those you love, knowing that your life is a reflection of the goodness the world has to offer. Please do not hesitate to let my office know how we may ever be of service to you. Keep the faith and keep looking up. Signed, United States Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock. Happy birthday, Mr. Duncan.
And we also It's coming, but it's not here yet. There was a little emergency, but Congressman Barry Loudermilk's office is going to deliver a flag that flew over the Capitol to you and a letter as well. So I will make sure that gets to you in the next few days, but they had an emergency. So, do you want to say a few words, Charlie?
I just want to thank each and every one for coming out and supporting me.
And tomorrow is Charlie Duncan Day.
I want to thank all of y'all for taking the time out to honor my daddy. I especially want to thank you, Joanne, because I know it means a lot to him, and I just appreciate you so much. Thank you.
He means the world to us, too.
It was certainly a birthday blessing we observed. For our next presentation, I will ask those who are here in honor of ALS Awareness Month to please meet Commissioner Allen up front.
We'll thank the weather for the representatives from the ALS Association not being able to make it, but
Okay.
I'm still want to read the proclamation, and we'll make sure it gets to them. But the Cobb County Board of Commissioners officially proclaims May 2026 as ALS Awareness Month. ALS is a progressive fatal neurodegenerative illness with no known cure. A diagnosis or a loss to the disease occurs approximately every 90 minutes. Cobb County residents are urged to support ALS research, advocate for increased funding, and stand in solidarity with individuals and families affected by the disease. The proclamation recognizes the ALS Association's global impact, having committed over $154 million to research projects aimed at improving the quality of life and finding a cure. To all of those who have a loved one or are suffering from ALS, we are thinking of you and honor you in the month of May. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen, for still recognizing ALS Awareness Month. Next, I will ask all of you here, as part of our designation of May as Older Americans Month in Cobb County, to please join Commissioner Gambrill up front.
Well, it was an honor to give you this proclamation, whereas May is National Older Americans Month, an occasion to recognize the outstanding contributions senior adults have made to our country, highlight aging trends, and recommit to serving their needs. According to the 2020 census, about 1 in 6 people in the United States are age 65 and older, and whereas the theme for 2026 is Champion Your Health, focusing on prevention, wellness, and personal responsibility as cornerstones of healthy aging. It encourages senior adults to take an active role in managing their own health, advocating for themselves, and assessing preventative care. And whereas during this time, it is important to highlight the importance of evidence-based approaches, self-management, and community partnerships that empower individuals to lead their healthiest lives. And whereas Cobb County Senior Services fosters a supportive environment for older adults through numerous programs and services designed to help them maintain healthy, independent, and fulfilling lives. Now, therefore, we, the Cobb County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Older Americans Month in Cobb County. We call upon all residents to join us in recognizing the contributions of our senior adult community and promoting programs that will assist them with prevention, wellness, and managing their health. This is the 26th day of May 2026.
All right, so I would like to say thank you, Commissioner Gambrill. Thank you to the entire board, county manager. It is an honor to get this proclamation. I want to recognize everybody that's standing here. We have some representatives from the West Cobb Senior Centers. We have our communications team here. And you see some pictures, you saw some pictures scrolling down of some of the activities that we've been doing, this month to celebrate Older Americans Month. Thank you to MDJ for putting us, putting our picture on there and posting one of our programs that we just did, and that was going on the Chattahoochee rafting. And so no matter how old you are, you might be 107 like Mr. Duncan, we have fantastic programs going on. And I really do want to give kudos to April Anderson and her team at West Cobb. They're not going to say because they're very humble, but they just received an honorable mention at the National Council on Aging for one of their programs. So they're knocking it out of the park, coming up with innovating programs all the time, and I'm very proud of you. So, but thank you.
And with that, it is a pleasure to give the Cobb Senior Services for our Meals on Wheels Battle of the Paddles. We raised $2,325 to go towards senior meals.
So again, thank you so much. This was an initiative that you have started, I don't even know how many years now, with Dr. Gibson. So 3 years. So thank you to both of you. We were able, again, to raise money for our Meals on Wheels program. And actually, together with the efforts for our March for Meals campaign, which several of you, came with us and actually delivered meals in the community. So thank you for doing that. We were able to raise $11,140, which will be approximately 1,800 meals for seniors in Cobb. So thank you so much.
And last but not least, I'd like to ask those who are here in recognition of the 35th anniversary of the Juvenile Court's CASA program to please join me up front. There are a lot of great things to celebrate and to honor in the month of May, and this certainly is one of them. Whereas serving the juvenile court and community since 1991, the Cobb County Court appointed Special Advocate Program is affiliated with the National CASA Association Incorporated and Georgia CASA Incorporated. And whereas the Cobb County CASA program trains and supervises citizen volunteers to act as the eyes and ears of the juvenile court, to speak up for the needs and basic human rights of child victims of abuse and neglect, one child at a time. Whereas in efforts to reduce time spent in foster care and ensure permanency for each child, CASA volunteers see each child monthly, conduct interviews, gather information, and prepare court reports, keeping the child's best interest at the forefront. Whereas the CASA program in Cobb County has trained hundreds of volunteers, and in turn, those volunteers have spent countless hours advocating for thousands of children adjudicated as abused and neglected. Now, therefore, we, the Cobb County Board of Commissioners, hereby proclaim May 26th as Court-Appointed Special Advocates Day in Cobb County in recognition of 35 years of the successful volunteer-driven program. This, the 26th day of May 2026.
Excuse me. Well, first, who's with us is a couple of our board members. One of our longest standing volunteers who's been here with our Cobb County CASA program approximately 20 or 20 plus years, Ms. Marjorie Sion. Our juvenile court program director, Mr. Adolphus Graves, and Carlene Redmond, who is a court administrator as well, and our CASA staff. Not all of us could be here tonight, but we're here, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. We have a wonderful program here. Yes. And I understand, Carlene, yes, Carlene, you started as a volunteer here, and now you serve as our director. So it's awesome. All right. That concludes our presentations for this evening, and we are now at our first public comment. I will turn things over to our county attorney, Debbie Blair, to help lead off this next portion of our meeting.
Thank you. As the board provides the podium for public comment, it's appropriate to review the related meeting rules. Please state your name and if you are speaking on behalf of an organization. All comments should be made to the commission as a body and addressed through the chair. Public comment is not a dialogue with the board, but an opportunity for speakers to provide their comments to the board. Comments should not be slanderous. The board encourages, regardless of the topic, for the audience to be respectful and courteous to all speakers. Statements made during public comment do not necessarily reflect the opinion of the board or the administration of Cobb County government. And there is a timer on the podium to track your 3 minutes. Our first speaker is Rachel Stansel.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Stansel. I have been a resident of Cobb County since 2010 and a homeowner in Marietta since 2017. Tonight, I would like to discuss the data center being built off of Phelps Ferry Road in Marietta. This decision to support AI infrastructure has been passed unanimously by the Marietta City Council and has been largely kept quiet from the public. When these data centers are built, governments salivate at the thought of perceived generated revenue and economic growth. In reality, data centers require enormous energy and water demands, which impacts local communities and economic and employment promises that rarely come to fruition. With the construction of this data center, it would lead to increased utility rates as it would drive up overall energy demand, straining grid capacity. A single data center is estimated to consume 2 megawatt hours of power, which is equivalent to the power used by 2,000 homes. Data centers also consume millions of gallons of water for cooling, and they can consume up to 5 million gallons per day, which is equivalent to the water usage of a town inhabiting over 10,000 people. 80% of the water withdrawn by data centers evaporates, and the remaining water is discharged to municipal wastewater facilities, overwhelming them as they do not have the capacity to handle this high volume. Allowing this to happen in Cobb County is resource deprivation, considering water is already a scarce commodity. This does not result in an economic boom, and in actuality, the tax breaks given to tech companies are expected to cost Georgia residents nearly $3 billion in 2027. As we know, technology is not stagnant, innovation drives it forward, and the next new tech is always on the precipice of development. What happens when the need for this data center crumbles? Will our lives and land have been worth the investment? The reason I'm speaking on this is I'm hoping that when things like this come up, that we can resist this. This is having really negative impacts on places already in the state of Georgia. Meta has one of its largest data centers located in Mansfield, Georgia, and is having really bad environmental and safety concerns for the people and constituents that live there. So our homes, our citizens, and our environment are not collateral damage, and I would like to encourage and ask for support in resisting big tech and continuing to resist big tech in Cobb County.
Thank you.
The next speaker is J.T. Jackson.
Hi there, J.T. Jackson, District 2. Thank you for allowing me this time to speak today. I just wanted to, I guess, show some gratitude. It's a really good time in Cobb County right now. The Braves are doing well. The trails are looking great. We're finally getting some rain. You know, there's just a lot. You know, the World Cup's coming up soon. And it's really easy to find a lot of the good things that are going on because of the social media presence that a lot of entities in the county have. Cobb County government does a really great job on their social media. Marietta Parks and Rec, whenever there's an event, they're on it with, you know, here's where you can park. If you don't want to park, Mountain to River Trail's available to you. Here's where you can park your bike. But one of the critical resources in the county that I feel really isn't being represented in social media is our transportation Cobb link. You know, a lot of people in this room probably have no idea that you could catch the 15 bus to the Battery if you wanted to, from right here in the Marietta Square. And there's so much going on with Cobb Link that needs to be celebrated. They recently rolled out tap to pay services, so you don't even have to have exact fare as long as you have a card with RFID. You're able to tap that and use that as your fare. And I would love to see that spoken about on social media and have that present so that more people are able to know, oh, these are places I can go. Here's how I can pay to go these places. Even within the county, the Cobb County Library, they had to do a really good job on their social media. And I was able to find out that with the library card, you're able to get free admission to the High Museum of Art sometimes. And wouldn't you know, the Cobb Link 10 and Rapid 10 take you right to Art Center Station. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for transit to be celebrated in the county. I just would love to see that happen a little bit more on different platforms. Thank you.
The next speaker is Amanda Costa-Tenides. I'm sorry. I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
Dear Commissioners, my name is Amanda Constantinides. I stand here as a resident of Marietta who lives first and foremost for Jesus Christ as a Greek Orthodox Christian. I'm here because our public square is failing us. We are being censored in a race for speaking truth to power. Our digital landscape has become a tool of corporate totalitarianism, where dissent is silenced and hostility is rewarded. We need a government that upholds our constitutional right to speak and worship, not one that cedes that authority to private platforms that prioritize their bottom line over our community's soul. We are tired of being treated as products rather than as citizens. We are currently suffering under corporate power that has bypassed the law. We need aggressive antitrust enforcement now, not just to break up monopolies, but to stop corporations from using their size to crush our local businesses, fix prices, manipulate public discourse, and extort those on welfare. The current welfare and Section 8 systems are an extortion trap, not a lifeline. By forcing us to report every penny of income, we are penalized with burdensome bureaucratic timelines for trying to work, leaving us to carry the burden of survival alone and without basic needs met. I call for an immediate $300 monthly income threshold that does not need to be reported. Furthermore, domestic labor and housework are essential, skilled contributions to our economy. Women who sustain our homes deserve financial recognition. It is time we treat domestic work as a public good rather than invisible drudgery. We need more red tape for the drug companies, real estate, and other corporate giants profiting off of our misery, not for the struggling neighbors trying to get by. Furthermore, our infrastructure is failing. We need more direct transit routes to give residents real access to jobs and subsidized tickets. We need continuous protected bike lanes and sidewalks along Cobb Parkway and Roswell Road, and mandatory license plates for e-bikes to ensure safety as the World Cup approaches. We need a rapid homeless to housing pipeline, mobile health and dental units for underserved areas, more dental providers who accept Medicaid, and a public kitchen providing 3 hot meals a day, toys, clothing, and hygiene items. For those who keep their cars off our highways during rush hour, let's provide cash vouchers, an incentive for stability and congestion relief. We need to nationalize essential services, healthcare, housing, food, pet supplies, transportation, caretaking, vet services, and recreation, because corporate efficiency has only ruined our lives. We need mobile resource buses delivering food, clothing, gas vouchers, on-the-spot energy assistance, and summer toys to our neighborhoods. We need to expand summer swimming access with subsidized pool passes, free camps for kids and teens, and more free family activities. And we must expand LIHEAP energy assistance to protect us from costs driven by energy-draining data centers and climate change year-round. Commissioners, we are called to be stewards of this land and each other. Let us move forward with the hope that we can build a community rooted in love, service, and dignity
Your
for
time
every
has run.
Sorry, ma'am. You have, excuse me, you need to, sir, we just need to end the comment. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your remarks. We just ask there not be abuse of the equal amount of time given to all speakers.
The next speaker is Donald Barth.
Donald Barth. I walk up here and address y'all one more time. I got the winter shirt. One of the funniest parts about having this shirt on, Kelly was abused. And when that abuse came, I'm saying it came from this board. When we talked about the problems with the veterans and the memorial, lies were told. Bold-faced lies. That's not the way we do. That's the way politicians do. Not the way we do. Now, when it came down to it, we're back still talking about the Veterans Memorial. It was in the paper again this week around town and an editorial. Anybody got an MOU in their back pocket, front pocket, anywhere? Charlie's 107. He's a veteran. Can you have it here by next year? No, you can't. Unfortunately, this started in 2015 with all innocent purposes, and something's gone wrong. Something is terribly wrong. When something is that wrong, you stop. You get new management. Sandy Springs walks in there, finds a tract of land, finds the money, and builds a beautiful Veterans Memorial for half of what y'all are talking about. How did this happen? Who's making money off of this? What's happening? What about our money? Citizens are now invested. Now that we have a dog in the fight, I want to know how much that dog eats. I want to know if somebody's cleaning up and taking care of that dog. Kelly, you were the one that knew this was a bad thing. So I'm going to ask you now, you got 4 more years. Help us watch this bad investment. Make sense out of it, people. Show up with an MOU. Be proud that you finally get an MOU after 2015. How many MOUs has there been? 2. Where is the MOU? What are the people invested in? You put our money out there, give us something back. Thank you.
The next speaker is Christine Rosman.
Hello, Commissioners, Chair, Christine Rosman, Marietta. I wanted to talk about the transparency because it's kind of front and center when you get onto the website, and the Transparency Center of Cobb County. And I think we saw that transparency, maybe not in the way that you're hoping to, but for the state of the county last week. And I know that I signed up for it, and then a lot of people said, oh no, it's filled up, and then no, it's back on, you can, and then it was only half full, which you don't have any control over people that sign up for stuff, and in theory, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, and then something else comes so that they don't. But it was unfortunately only half full for it, and a lot of us were interested in finding out how the county is doing. And but it was, you know, I think that those of us that I was with that wanted to know weren't interested in getting entertained so much as we were looking to find out what's going on with our taxpayer money. And I know that something like that had to have cost a bit of money because there were like 8 fully armed, kind of like SWAT police there with their cruisers and the whole security thing set up. And it was only half full, and half of those people were employees. And as a taxpayer, there's not a good ROI on something like that. So anyway, we're looking at what you're spending. And also, what we're looking at too is that I've been to zoning meetings, And apparently, when citizens come up with, you know, hey, here's what the damage that's happening, you can use the AV. But magically, when it's a Board of Commissioner meeting, we're not allowed to use the AV. And I know that at that point, when Ross Cavett used to be here, it was Ross Cavett's fault that we couldn't. But I think that would be really good because that's part of our First Amendment right. And actually, we have a lot of really pretty brilliant people that are live in Cobb County. They're able to do like really solid spreadsheets, information, to be able to let other citizens know like the other side of the story, and would really like to be able to show the other side of the story. Thank you.
The next speaker is Denny Wilson.
Good evening, Denny Wilson, District 4. I want to say congratulations to Commissioner Burrow and Commissioner Gambrell for their landslide victories last week. It was well deserved. But I want to talk about affordable housing because, Madam Chairwoman, in your State of the County address, you mentioned bringing back affordable housing. And I'm trying to figure out, where did it go? I mean, was it ever at the forefront of your agenda? You've had 14 years now to do something about affordable housing. I mean, you formed a task force. We didn't get anything out of that. So I want to offer you a suggestion tonight. I went to my credit union last week, Navy Federal, over in Douglas County, and I passed this development on Douglas Boulevard. It's in the midst of all the shopping centers. And they had homes there starting at $200,000. So being my adventurous self, I rode through there to kind of see what they looked like. I don't know what they look like on the inside, but I know the outside looked pretty good. In order to afford a home at $200,000, you'd have to have a salary between $55,000 to $70,000, and that is that amount would also depend on the interest rate. It would depend on what bills you have. You know, like young people have child care, which is very expensive. Some people are paying $350 to $400 a week just for child care, and some people say their child care is more than their mortgage. To be able to afford a $400,000 home, which is what the homes are starting here in Cobb County, you'd have to have an annual income of between $100,000 to $135,000. And that's a lot of money because Cobb County don't even pay that to most of their employees. I mean, your $17 an hour living wage increase will not even have them to afford a home here in Cobb County. So we have young people, long-term people, who are having to leave this county and go elsewhere and buy homes. And I'm not saying it's you guys' fault, because home values increase every year. But I'm just saying, before you throw out the word affordable housing, you need to have a plan. And you need to put that plan before the community, you know, to let us know what you're talking about. Because again, you've been doing it for the last 14 years.
Ms. Wilson,
Thank you.
your time has run. Thank you. The next speaker is Carter Ray.
Carter Ray, District 3. A common concern that I've heard about adding new housing within Cobb County is that adding more housing supply can seem to increase housing costs, especially given the often high costs of new construction, condos, townhomes that have been seemingly popping up across many areas in Cobb County. While it may seem as though new market rate housing can make affordability problems worse, it is often not the new housing itself that is meant to be affordable, although it can. It takes pressure off the existing housing supply. If 10,000 people want to move to a new area each year, and there are only a few hundred homes being built, then the richest few buyers, those with high incomes, are going to be able to bid out middle-income families. Yet there's not an infinite amount of people wanting to buy in a certain area. If you add new units, the richest people who would have bought anyways will continue to buy, but middle-income people who would have been forced to keep renting until they're 40 may be able to afford some of the new homes, simply because there is less demand on the supply as a whole. Older homes will have less demand because new housing supply that rich people can afford will take demand off those. If you allow this housing supply to meet demand, it's better for the housing chain, in which people who would have otherwise bought, say, more affordable homes in different neighborhoods would buy new housing instead. Those 30 to 40-year-olds that may be able to buy these new homes are also not renting anymore, which can drive down the pressure on renting costs, so it can help everywhere. Now, for specific areas in which this has actually happened and beneficial results have been seen, you can take Minneapolis, which allowed duplexes and triplexes by right. They increased housing supply by 13% in 7 years, about double the average, and their housing prices have only gone up about 1% during that time, beating out everyone else in the region. Or how about Houston, Texas, which allowed townhomes by right everywhere, which created 80,000 more homes across several decades, keeping prices roughly 28% lower than Cobb County. And that's not even mentioning Austin, Portland, Spokane, Columbus, or Salt Lake cities, for other examples of places where housing and zoning reforms were actually able to keep housing more affordable than what's happening here. The time is now to support zoning reforms and allow for more housing supply across the county, because even if it seemingly increases prices in one neighborhood, it makes housing more affordable within specific regions of the county as a whole. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
The next speaker is Tracy Stevenson.
Tracy Stevenson. A lot to unpack here from the earlier speakers. Really don't know where to start. I'm going to start at the end. Affordable housing. I've said this many times. It starts with affordable dirt. When you densify an area, that doesn't make more affordable housing. I would beg to differ with Carter. I believe some of his stats when he says Houston and Austin. He's talking about a greater metropolitan area, not the Houston city limits. I've built down there. They had no zoning laws for 100 years. It's a terrible place to try to get around. I believe that we have to figure this, that we've got to go and start at the dirt. I think in District 4, you can see where they've built higher density units. And once there's a proof of concept, that plot of land that's a couple acres down the road, that got more expensive because the proof of concept worked. They built the houses. They said, hey, look, it works. We can build some more and we'll charge more. Manhattan was bought for $25 worth of trinkets. Now it's $1,800 a square foot for a piece of dirt. That's why they have to build it 50 and 100 stories high. So there is some myth to the numbers that I'm hearing in the way it works. Every builder in the world starts building by saying, I bought a $200,000 developed lot, as a for instance. That means I've got to have 3 times that, a $600,000 house to make any money at all. He really wants 4 and 5 times that. So it starts with the dirt. And when you densify it, if I take that same lot, rezone it, I can put 2 houses on it. He's not going to build it a whole heck of a lot cheaper. We have to approach this from how we find less expensive dirt. And I think that starts with the county owns a great deal of dirt. There's some opportunity for the county to get involved and do a public-private partnership. However, setting a task force up with all developers and builders is probably not the best way to figure out the end game. The end game will have to start with, let's put some numbers on it to begin with. What is an affordable, attainable house? Somebody give me a number. Was it 200,000? Is it 300? Is it 4? HUD defines it as 30% of your gross income. Okay? What is that number? Let's work to a number. Let's solve for X. How can we figure out where we're going unless we have a goal to reach? But everybody just campaigns on it. They talk about it in the news, and they put it in articles out, and they say, oh yeah, affordable housing, attainable housing. That gets us nowhere. It's just rhetoric. I've been coming here for 3 years. And we've had this conversation multiple times. I haven't seen the ball move forward. So that's my cry to you folks, is how we get together. Maybe somebody like me who has no financial interest in it because I'm mostly retired now. Get some people like us that have built things. We might be able to help. Thank you.
There are no further speakers.
All right, thank you, Ms. Debbie. That now takes us to the consent agenda portion of our meeting, and these items scroll on the screen prior to the meeting and will do so upon its conclusion. Before we get into the consent agenda, Commissioners, we do have 2 matters to add to our consent agenda. Excuse me, 1 matter to add to consent, in fact, and 1 matter to add to our regular agenda. So with that, I'm going to move that we add this 1 following non-agenda item to the end of consent. And that motion is to authorize settlement of a workers' compensation claim on behalf of Marnita Ballard.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the question. The motion carries 5-0. I also move that we add the following non-agenda item to the end of our regular agenda. This is a motion to approve 4 intergovernmental agreements between Cobb County and the City of Mableton, 3 of which are part of the amended service delivery strategy commencing June 1st, 2026, between the county and the 7 Cobb cities required to participate in the requirements of OCGA 36-70-20 at Sequitur, and 1 agreement related to certain contract payments with respect to certain outstanding bonds. And that's the end of the motion. Is there a second to add that?
Second.
All right, is there any discussion? All right, I'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Commissioners. And I know we're not there yet, but just curious to know who's going to present that item.
Me.
You will? Okay, thank you, Debbie. All right, with that, Commissioners, let me just look through this consent agenda, and I don't remember seeing any revisions. I just want to make sure. Checking with the clerk, I'm not seeing any revisions except to add the 1 agenda. Okay, thank you. Commissioners, I move that we approve the items on our consent agenda as it has been recently revised, and to authorize execution of the necessary documents by the appropriate county personnel.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Commissioners. That now takes us to our regular agenda, and we do have 1 matter under the American Rescue Plan Act tab.
Good evening, Chairwoman, Commissioners, County Manager. We have 1 item today, and this is to approve the deobligation and reallocation of previously appropriated funds received pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. And as a part of this process, we have worked with our Deloitte team and county staff to complete a 90% spend assessment, touching base with all of our subrecipients to ensure that they were on track to spend those funds. Any subrecipient who has fallen well below that 90% spend assessment, we discussed what they could spend between now and the deadline of September 30th of 2026. And they were voluntarily giving up funds that they could not spend within that time frame. And those are the funds that we're asking the board to reallocate to additional subrecipients today. So any questions on that before I read the recommendation? Yep. Okay, great. So with that, we ask the Board of Commissioners to approve the deobligation and reallocation of previously appropriated funds received pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, authorize the corresponding budget transactions, and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Yes, Commissioner Burrow.
I just want to point out that these were specific projects that were identified, kind of like SPLOST. And the money that was not used or spent that came back was to that specific project. And that's why there's money reallocated to the ones that applied for additional for their specific project.
That's correct, Commissioner. These projects had to be a part of the project list that was approved prior to December 31st of 2025. So all we can do is shift between those existing projects.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner, for that clarification. Are there any other comments? I just want to thank you and our consultants for the heavy lift in monitoring these projects through the years of this grant program. And we've had a number of these organizations asking for this day to come, and this day is here.
We're very excited.
Yes. So with that, I'll go ahead and call the question. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Bill. That now takes us to our transportation tab, and we uniquely just have one item today.
Good evening, Chairwoman, Commissioners, County Manager Drew Ressler with DOT, and one lonely item for your consideration this evening.
In District 3.
That's right. This evening, the department would like to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve a contract with D&H Construction Company Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $163,848.25 for drainage system repairs on Woodlawn Drive, project number B22114. Authorize the corresponding budget transactions and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
Commissioner Burrow.
Thank you. Motion to approve.
Second. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you, Drew. I know at work session, I asked about the Lower Roswell Woodlawn Johnson Ferry project that's been going on for quite a while. And this is just outside of that. But we have been getting emails as to when that project will come to completion. So we've been answering those by the end of November, hopefully, no later than the end of the year.
For the Lower Roswell Road
For
project,
the
correct.
project, you're right, Lower
Yes, ma'am.
Roswell.
And we will
Thank you.
coordinate this construction with that project.
Pardon?
We will coordinate this drainage project with that Lower Roswell project, make sure there's no kind of conflicting traffic control
Right.
issues.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are there any other comments? All right, seeing none, we'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Drew. That takes us next to our last regular agenda item, and this is to address the intergovernmental government agreements.
I'm happy to bring forward these agreements after a long mediation on Friday. We were able to get the agreements drafted. You will notice the recommendation is that you all approve these documents in substantially similar form, because we are going back and forth a little bit with some of the verbiage in the agreements. The terms, of course, won't change from what we agreed to in mediation, but there might be some language changes. And if there's no questions, the motion or the recommendation is that the Board of Commissioners approve 4 intergovernmental agreements between Cobb County and the City of Mableton, 3 of which are part of the amended service delivery strategy, and 1 related to the payment of certain outstanding bonds. Authorize the chairwoman to execute in substantially similar form and execute the following IGAs: Law Enforcement Services, Department of Transportation Services, Stormwater Management Services, and Bond Payment Agreement.
Thank you, Debbie. Before we vote, I do want to read the statement that the board agreed on today with respect to our recent mediation. And mediation discussions between Cobb County and the City of Mableton were productive and resulted in a mutually beneficial path forward for both governments, and most importantly, for the residents that we serve. Through good faith negotiations and a willingness on all sides to compromise, we were able to reach a proposed agreement that addresses key issues related to police services, stormwater, and Department of Transportation services. This agreement provides stability, avoids disruptions to public safety and essential services as Mableton moves forward. I appreciate the efforts of the mediators, attorneys, elected officials, and staff who dedicated many hours to these discussions and remained focused on finding long-term solutions. While the agreement still requires formal approval by both governing bodies, I am encouraged by the collaborative spirit shown throughout this process, and I am optimistic about moving forward together in the best interest of all Cobb County residents. Thank you. And beyond that statement, I just can't thank our board enough and staff enough for all of your efforts in coming together to get us to this point.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Yes, is any other comments? Commissioner Burrow, did you have your hand up? Yes, please.
Do we have a motion? No. Okay, so we're discussing first?
Yes.
Okay. What are the terms of, I know the police part is the 1 year?
Correct.
Or is everything a 1 year?
No,
Or just that?
stormwater and DOT, Department of Transportation, run through the end of the service delivery strategy, October 31st, 2034.
Okay, and is that the same as the other cities?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So nothing has changed with the other city?
Correct.
SDS. Okay, because when, I don't know, there was a comment about it with the cities, and I don't think we changed anything that's in place with them.
We have not.
Okay.
The only thing, yeah, these are the new agreements that we're approving. They're very similar as far as the services we're providing to what we have been providing for the last year, but of course, the numbers have changed and the dates.
All right, okay, thank you.
Are there any other comments? Commissioner Sheffield.
I just want to take a moment to thank Debbie and the county staff for the past 2 years. It has been a long road. This has been a new experience for both the city and the county, and some growing pains along the way, but we were able to get through them. And a special thanks to Dr. McMorris, who served as the liaison for the past 2 years. And I also like to thank the city of Mableton, the mayor and the council, as well as their city manager. And I would be remiss if I did not include the residents of Mableton. They have been vocal, they have been very engaged in reaching out to me, to the county, for answers to their questions. So thank you for being a part of the process. And I'm glad that we're finally at this point, and we look forward to a healthy and productive relationship with Mableton as they come online as Cobb County's newest and largest city. So thank you to everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any other comments? All right, so again, I will move that we approve this agenda item as it has been read.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? We'll call the question. Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations, Commissioners. All righty. So excited. I've got to remember where we are. We're at our second public comment.
There are no speakers.
Okay, very good. That then takes us to the commissioners. Not today. Knock on this dais. Amen, amen.
Man.
With that, we will go ahead and move into the commissioner's public address, and we'll begin whenever you're ready, Commissioner Gambrill.
And I congratulate all of our staff who has had students and relatives and family members that have graduated, and here are the photos of them, and we honor you and congratulations.
That is progress.
All right, so I just second that. Congratulations to all of our Cobb County graduates from colleges, high schools, fifth grade, kindergarten, all the above. So congratulations on graduation. Also, just with everything going on right now, we do have that rain that Carter was talking about and JT, but be careful, be weather aware. We've had some flooding in the area. Please do not drive through standing water, and make sure that you are paying attention to what's going on out on the roads. And to that, I'd like to just thank Drew and his team, working over the holiday weekend to make sure our roads were clear. Debris was out of the way so we could have safe passage. So thank you, Drew, to you and your team at Department of Transportation. Also, we do have runoff elections. No one on this day is, thank goodness. It's all over, so we don't have to worry about runoffs up here. But we do have runoffs June 16th. Early voting will start the week prior. And also want to thank our election staff. We did have some hiccups on election day. But like always, with grace and persistence, they pushed through, and we had a very successful election night. So thank you all at elections and our new director, Lee, for the work on elections last week. Also, don't have a slide for this, but I just realized we won't be back before we do this, but Cobb County is going to be part of something really special coming up on June 6th. There is, associated with FIFA, this is an event that everyone can participate in. There will be a Guinness World Record attempt globally. So there will be participants from the United States, Spain, Mexico, UK, Netherlands, and Italy, and Germany. But most importantly, in the United States, the event site are Miami, Philly, Chicago, LA, New York, Boston, and Smyrna. So if you have a soccer player who wants to be part of that record, they will juggle and have the most people juggling globally simultaneously. It'll be at 10 a.m. at Village Green in Smyrna. You can go to kickitincobb.org, or my newsletter will have a link on Friday so you can register. If you want the certificate that you did break a world record, you have to register, pre-register, but please go out and do it. It's a good way for all of us to participate in FIFA. I will not be participating because I can't juggle a soccer ball, but my daughter will. But please come out and be part of the festivities for FIFA.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Burrow.
Thank you. I'm truly grateful for the overwhelming support in Tuesday's primary election for District 3 Commissioner. I deeply appreciate the prayers, contributions, volunteer efforts, and encouragement from everyone who placed their trust in me and took the time to vote. Thank you for your continued support and confidence. I'm honored and humbled by your belief in our campaign. God bless you all. Yesterday, several of us on the board here took part in the National Memorial Day Association of Georgia. It was their 80th annual Memorial Day ceremony right here in Marietta at the National Cemetery. Barry Loudermilk, our 11th District Congressman, was the keynote speaker, and it was great to see the crowd turn out in memory of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. So thank you to all of our veterans and the families that support them. And tomorrow is Charlie Duncan Day, as you heard. Yeah, this is from tonight. Thank you, CP and Brad. Yeah, Nikki, I sent you the picture too. So he is amazing, y'all. This man still has his mind and wits about him, and he's really funny. He's just a jewel. And there's not many left from World War II. My dad served in World War II and North Carolina National Guard, retired, and he has been deceased for quite a while now, but Charlie Duncan, he deserves the whole year to be named for him. So just remember tomorrow's Charlie Duncan Day, and I hope we'll both be here next year to do it again.
Thank you, Commissioner Burrow. We're at Commissioner Sheffield.
Thank you, Chair. District 4 news and updates. Community leaders are invited to join the Girl Scouts this Friday at Camp Timber Ridge in Mableton, located at 5540 North Allen Road. This special gathering offers elected officials and their families an opportunity to enjoy outdoor activities, fellowship, and meaningful connection while experiencing firsthand how Girl Scouts help develop confident, courageous, and future-ready young women. For more information, please contact Jessica Merriman at JMerriman@gsgatl.org. Are you a Law and Order fan? If so, you are in for a treat. The Cobb County District Attorney's Office will host behind-the-scenes look at the trial process of the show. You will have an opportunity to learn what really happens inside the courtroom from the professionals themselves. The event will take place on Thursday, June 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Milford Recreation Center located at 675 Smyrna Powder Springs Road in Marietta. And finally, the concert season is underway at the Mabel House Barnes Amphitheater. Celebrate summer with an unforgettable evening of soul featuring Anthony Hamilton and Music Soul Child on Sunday, June 28th from 6 to 10:30 p.m. Don't miss one of the hottest concerts of the summer in South Cobb. Tickets can be purchased through Ticketmaster. Oh, it's sold out? Sorry.
Who said that? No.
Is it? Well, I'll keep reading. I only have a sentence left. Parking, I mean, just in case some tickets, I mean, you know. Secondary market. Scalpers, yeah. Parking is free and food vendors will be available on site. The amphitheater is located at 5239 Floyd Road in Mableton. Yeah, just watch out for those scalpers.
Yes.
PD, just look the other way if you see
Yeah,
them.
there you go. I can buy one of those tickets.
Michael may
County, we're
have.
on the map.
Michael may have some.
This is awesome. Look, first, I need to acknowledge one of our constitutional officers who's here in the back of the room. Sheriff Owens, thank you so much for being here this evening. We know you have a full schedule, and yeah, grateful that you are here and grateful that we all are here. This has been a past busy week for all of us, and especially for those who've been running for office. Each one of us know that it's not an easy feat, and yet we show up here and we continue to serve under immense pressure. And so I just want to say congratulations both to our District Commissioner for District 1, Kelly Gambrell, and our District Commissioner of District 3, Joanne Burrow, on the feats that you had this past week. We had that feat, and we also had a significant feat in accomplishing getting to an agreement with the city of Mableton. And again, I'm very pleased as we move forward with, as Commissioner Sheffield has shared, our newest city that's here in the county. And I believe that if we can get through the many difficult moments that we've had, just even getting us to this point, that there are even greater things for us to accomplish moving forward. So let's just keep our eyes on the prize, and I know that our best days in this county are still ahead of us. Thank you all for joining here this evening, and hope you have a good night. We're adjourned.